Good morning, greetings and salutations. Give me a minute here. I'm trying to figure out the best way to set this because I've been warned. Oh, there we go. And it's not terrible. Hope everybody can see me. Once again, good morning, greetings and salutations. I hope I'm being heard out there. It says I am, but we're trying something new today, and I don't got near enough backdrop for it. So we're going to have to just plow on through. But we got a couple different things we're going to try today. First of all, how's everybody's week's been? I hope it's been a good one. I really didn't advertise this one today, but I just couldn't bring myself not to do it. It's after, it's what do you say? You just, you get started on something that you find that you enjoy. Which side of the hat? Oh, that's it. Everything's reverse here. I should have worn my other shirts. There, I can see it almost. So please give me a thumbs up if, or yes, you can hear me or whatever. I says the microphone's on full and I can see it vibrating up and down. So hopefully we started out with some volume today. Hey, River, how we doing? Everything look okay? Oh, thank you there, Mrs. 5856. Appreciate it. So I'm being heard. That's a good thing. So, yeah, today we're going to try a couple different things. Something that I always take pretty little bit of history here. This is I always mispronounce this. Bear with me. This is a Fiskars knife. And a little bit of history about this company is they are like the grandfather of knife makers. They were around before Gerber. And this company was actually started, oh gosh, it's been a long, oh, 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 I got it. Oh, hang on. Oh my gosh, I fell so far down there. All right. Uh, this company, I'll probably get corrected on this, but I believe it's been since the 16 or 1700s. Um, they're old. Like I say, they're the grandfather company, or some of you, grandmother company to Gerber. Case is American made knife. However, a lot of their engineers early on came from this company. The ones that helped design the case knives, the double X or triple X, I forget which brand it is that everybody seeks after. But this is the neighbors, and I happened to come across it, and it's dull as all get out, so I thought I'd do him a solid. I always sharpen my machetes, which this is because it's the length of the blade that determines what is a machete, not a kufri, which I prefer. I like those. I like the handle that whips down because it just seems like to me you get a little more action on the knife when you're whipping it through the air. Obviously, be cautious because, if it's sharp, I got scars to prove it. So, I hope everybody's had a good week. We had some new subscribers this week, which I'm so grateful for. We're at as of this morning, we're at the 215 mark. So it's fun to say that you only got 200 and let me think, get my math right. 285 more to go. Is that right? I think to get monetized. But then I was reading through things, and YouTube, they have the YouTube studio once you start doing these things, and they give you all kinds of analytics and charts and projections and all kinds of good stuff. But it said last week I had over 12,000 views. Well, I got 10 subscribers. So I'm hoping maybe this week we can turn that around a little bit. Once again, I'm going to continue on with what I've been doing. The shorts seem to work. People seem to be really into the shorts. They're easy to do. And so far I've been a one and done type person. So, I enjoy them. I enjoy it. I enjoy highlighting the wildlife we get to see every day. The little jokes here and there. I don't do too many, but here recently, I mean, just this week, so very recently, I started getting back into the gym. And my old gym, unbeknownst to me, while I was gone, they have converted themselves into a strongman gym practically. Now, when they still have the Silver Slipper campaign and all that, but it's been pretty much 5 years since I was in there. Mrs. 58 and 56 myself took my mother in before she passed and helped care for her. It was a rough time. It's taken me some time to get my head right just to get back in the gym because just walking in there brought back a lot of memories. But yeah, so she passed 5 years ago. So almost she passed 5 years ago last month. So 5 years since I've been in the gym, and man, can I tell it! I I went to move a couple of weights that I normally used to just work out with, and I'm like, oh my, I can't. What? They actually added weight to that. That's got to be labeled wrong. That can't be what I used to work out with. So anyway, enough of that. But yeah, we'll have some new old gym stock photos. I don't know how to put it any better than that. Eventually, from time to time. But this might be the new format for doing live streams. I'm probably going to, because we're coming into the fall, we're getting busier. I'll probably not do a weekly coffee with Rob. We'll probably do it every other week, just because we got a lot of things happening. We got having to move the brother-in-law, secure him a residence, get it set up and livable. So yeah, we're going to be really busy. From time to time, we might do some spot filming because he can be hilarious in those situations. One story I could share was my son and myself was helping him move from Circle City to where he's at now. And we walked around the back of the house, and there was a dryer, a laundry dryer sitting on the uh, back of the porch. And we was like, and you get to looking, and the I think it was a 220, no, maybe it was a 110. Anyway, the power for the dryer ran through the old dryer vent. I'm like, man, how shady engineered can that be, And we started pulling on it. It was still hooked up, and he was he was out of the hospital not very long. He'd had an accident and a serious head trauma, and anyway, he reached down there and said, "Oh, that's just the ground," and then proceeded to grab that bare wire and just was like, I was like, what do? You get smacked. Finally, he let go of it, and he just looked at us, goes, "Yeah, just the ground." Then turned around and walked off. My son and myself. Oh my God, that was so funny. It was bad. It could have been bad. It wasn't, but it could have been. And you had to be there, I guess, because it really, I still, yet today, that's been over 15 years ago. And yet today, that's right, River. I'm sorry. It just still cracks me up. It's just a ground. Oh, yeah. The stupid things in life that make me laugh. All right. Well, hey, but we got to get him secure, get back on point here. I got corrected. That was 20 years ago. My gosh, that just doesn't seem possible. But, yeah, we're going to secure him a new place. That's coming up real soon. So, we're going to be busy. And I even said earlier on when I started doing these live casts, not this month, because technically the shoots are done for the month. And by the way, I even got it'd be reversed, I think, but I'll still show it. I'm still happy. I shot at the local place after going down to the Total Archery, Wow. I know I already covered it last week, but man, what an experience. What an experience. Learned a lot real quick. Learned to read the fine print on what they put online. But this was, so I did the total archery on Friday, which was 5 miles of pure hell. And then come back Saturday. We did last week's live cast, which I was just apparently still tired because I really, really messed that up. And to those that sort of tuned in, I'm sorry. But this was, is that reversed? Nope. I think you guys can see that right. That's a 281 out of 330. If you, way I play, there's two styles. There's they have what they call let me think. Oh, I'm an ASA shooter, which means that when I shoot at the target, there's a big oval shape, well, what they call the kill zone, but it's an oval shape, and in there's a little ring circle, and that's the 10 ring. If you're inside the oval shape, it's an 8. And then they determine if your arrow is just touching the line, you get credit for the higher score. So inside the 10, there's 2 little dots, a top and a bottom. There's actually 3, but I only use the top and the bottom, and those are 11. So 11, 10, and 8. And then anything outside the oval shaped circle or the insert kill zone, however you want to put it, is a 5. So last week, after going to total archery, where I scored practically all 5s, but now let's remember, you're shooting extreme uphill shots. I mean, you got bent at the waist, pull back, draw, and shoot. And you're talking 45, 67 yards. I think the furthest one we had was 88 yards. I got to looking back through things, and I think 88 was the longest one. And on the 88, I scored a 10. I was very excited about that because anyway, enough of that. But then Saturday, I did the live cast. Really shamed how I performed on that. So anyway, but then Sunday, come back and they had the last shoot at the local club here, Bloomington Archery. And I never even hit outside the insert. I had my lowest score was at 8. I had no 5s. I missed nothing. Had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 10s, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 11s. I was on fire. Ain't no better way to describe it, but man, that was just some awesome shooting on my half. I was so tickled to death. I don't know. I'll try to illustrate what I'm talking about so they got an oblong. This is kind of the insert, how it would look, and then there would be a tighter circle. So that would be the 10 area. And then there would be a dot and a dot. Both those are 11s. Now over here, there's another circle, and there is another circle in there. So this inner circle and this bigger circle here are what goes for the IBO organization for archery. And I'm in the ASA, American Shooters or Archer Shooters Association. That's what my membership's in. So I use the 2 little dots, the big dot, and then the whole oblong. And then if you're in a competition, you got to have a tie shot. This one here counts as a 14, only in the ASA, not the IBO. So yeah, I thoroughly love archery, and thanks to my son who hooked me up with a bow that I named Kimberly. Yeah, I know I've already explained that one, but I can't help myself. I got to again. So that was I went and the night I brought her home and brought the bow home. On the way home, I'm thinking it's a Matthews bow. So what name goes with Matthews if it was a person, you know? So I come up with Kimberly Matthews. So when I brought her home, told her Mrs. 5856, I was like, honey, I love you, but you're going to scoot over. I got to lay Kimberly down. And she just. Oh, yeah. I love my wife. She can make me laugh. Ain't no doubt about it. So yeah, my bow's named Kimberly, and we had a great time last weekend. It was that total archery. I'm going to go back again next year. That's why I'm in the gym now, because technically there's a couple of shoots coming up next month, and then the season's pretty well over until January when the leagues kick back up. Now, as far as I know, I don't know of any fall leagues. I'd love to find one close enough to drive to. Yeah, me and Kimberly'd love to travel and do one. So if anybody knows, follows me and knows of a fall league, send me a message. I'd appreciate it. It was, I love doing that. I love the competition. It's an old man thing to do. That's why I'm back in the gym to keep my shoulders in tune and my arms tuned up for that bow. Cause I had my string draw tested again just before the total archery, and I pull on. Let's see, what'd she tell me? My initial pull on the compound bow was 73, and then it breaks down to about 17, 18, somewhere in there, I think. So yeah, that's a pretty good pull, and I'm no spring chicken. So I'm closer to 70 than I am 60. So we'll leave it at that. But anyway, let's get back to sharpening the neighbor's machete here. On a rough instrument like this, I like to sharpen it with a file. And then I'll touch it up with a stone. I got a stone that I can use. And I can't really zoom in and show you, but it's definitely making filings. I don't know if that shows up. Let's see, find the camera. I'm not used to doing it this way. But yeah, you can see it on my finger. So that's actually filings off of that machete, no more than I've done. So I hope everybody's had a chance to get out and do some fishing or bow shooting or tuning your gun up for the upcoming season. I don't deer hunt. I got nothing against people that deer hunt. It's just that I used to hunt. It's hard to be hypocritical about it, but yeah, I don't anymore. I think it's just easier to go to the grocery store and buy a pound of beef. Now, you never know. Things might change, but I'll be ready. I got some new arrows. I don't have a lot, but I got some new ones before the shoot. And man, those, they did me right when they set them up. They were tuned in. Now, I think there's another total archery challenge coming up, or maybe it's I forget. I'll go on. But anyway, at the total archery challenge, every one of them, Bear Archery is the ones that sponsors it. They put out, got this decked out safari truck, more or less. You know, it's got the snorkel, it's got the safety gear on the back rack, it's got the pop-up tent. I mean, it's $100,000 truck. I mean, it was nice. Dodge had the Cummins motor in it, so it was a 3/4 ton at least. But yeah, to win that, you had to shoot at, like I was saying, you had to shoot. So, this would be the target you were shooting at, and then one of those 11s, and then they tell you which one you're shooting at. Well, they called out the top one when I stepped up there to shoot. Now, mind you, my arrows aren't cheap. They're basically $100 for 6. And then if you get them fletched and points and all the special, get all the special weighted, which I did and do. They're right around $119. So, and then you got to pay to shoot at that $111 yard shot, which my bow with the sights only goes 100 yards. Well, then I got to guesstimate where that both my arrows went under and both my arrows was lost in the grass. So time I paid to enter and then lost 2 arrows, I was probably up 60, $75. I was like, that's enough. I'm not shooting at it no more. But it was fun to try. It was definitely fun to try. But while I was there, God, I'm terrible names. I remember the names, but I watched an archer put one of the arrows in the truck. Now, and then over the weekend, of course, started Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Sunday you had to be there if you even got an arrow in the target. So then they had a drawing. I don't know how many people wound up qualifying for the drawing, but there was already 3 that had hit it. I think it was 3, maybe 4 that had already hit it that morning by the time I was there. And I got there. I started the course 8:30 and was done at 11, I think. But so by the time I run the course, 3 people had already hit the target. I got to see one of them. That the guy was good. He shot 6 times, and how he only landed 1. I mean, his grouping looked like it was like that, and I'm just like, man, that's. I sat and listened to all the stories there for a while. The guy told me to sit down. Apparently, I looked bad. I don't know. Anyway, I sat down and got to hear a lot of the stories from people and things, so it was pretty cool. But this machete, I'm jerking it around too much probably. This machete, if I got some extra action going on there. Oh, yeah, right, River. I was on fire. We'll try it this way. It's not a desired way to do it. You got to get to one side. So I know my neighbor is right-handed. It's kind of a cheating way to do that. So the underneath side, so this is right-handed. The underneath side needs to be a little bit leaner than the top side. If you ever look at a wood file, let's see here. Okay. I don't know if you can tell, one edge here has a higher bevel, and this is a straight. So if this was the machete, see, I'm right-handed. Here's the left side, so I want a longer grate on this side than I do what would be the top side then. That way, when I swing and hit, it causes it to dig down in. That this bevel on this side here will force the machete down into whatever you're chopping, so it makes it for a better cut, especially if you're hacking at limbs or saplings or whatever the case may be. So this, if I'm right-handed, this needs to be the smoother side, and this is the shorter filed side. There's a technique to sharpening everything. I mean, man, you just got to pay attention, or I mean, to me that makes common sense, but not saying it does for everybody. Everybody's got their own way of looking at things. So yeah, I don't think this has ever been sharpened. I just seen it laying there, and I thought, oh, that'd be a good thing to cover. Just let people know. Hey, I hope people got to see the Buckeye video this past week. I popped out. Well, I should have brought them up, because the one that I opened, it was the twins in the one pod. At first, I thought, man, I'll cause them to open up too soon, and they looked quiet at first. But then I just put them in the cup with the others still in the husk, and then when I went back and looked, they had turned brown, and they had the distinct Buckeye look. I'll make a post of it later on. I was really shocked. But I've never opened up a twin Buckeye before. That was a first. Hope everybody got their coffee. Oh my God, that's still hot. Wow, I thought by now I'd put that in that cup like an hour ago. So, yeah, I know this was spontaneous. I know I didn't really advertise it. And to those who showed up, thank you. But I probably will for a while, short while, hopefully, be doing every other week. So let me see if I can. Well, today is the 16th. So 14 days. So 30th. Of course, I got July's calendar still up. I'm going to say the weekend of the 30th. I think that's a Saturday. So I think that'll be the next live stream. I hopefully between the end of this month and the end of next month, it'd really be nice to have our 500 required subscribers. Then I just got to worry about the amount of viewed hours. There's a huge discrepancy on what the YouTube sends me on that. For one, they say in the studio that I've only got like 60 validated hours of viewing time, but yet in the same note, when you go to audience, it says I got over 500 hours of viewing time. So I don't know which is what. So, but yeah, if you know anybody that might be interested in the kind of content I put out there, I'd really appreciate it. Like I say, I do a lot of archery. I do a lot of knife throwing, slingshots. Love the knife throwing. I love doing that one. And what else is it I've done? Oh, I created one of them overhead slings. Not so much guns. I don't think I've ever done a gun post. But yeah, we're probably getting back in the gym. I'm sure somewhere or another I'll sneak in a workout here and there, or when I finally get to something. And then, send me some comments. Let me know what you would like to see. Maybe there's something I can do. Also, there's woodworking. I mean, I am a woodworker. I don't go out and earn a living with it anymore, but I mean, you don't ever not become a woodworker. Once you got it, you're there. So yeah, the trick also is to make sure when you're sharpening this, if you're using a file, don't let it go all the way up, because then if you're sharpening and get it sharp, your fingers get in the way. Now, this will never get to leather strop quality because it's a hacker, and that's what it's meant to do. But what in the world was that? I got some kind of weird sound going on behind me. Maybe just an echo of this. Now, once again, this is the flatter side, so I'll make a choppy side on this other side. Well, that's kind of freaking me out now. What is that? Yeah, we no real adventures this week. Had a lot of fun with the grandbabies. Yeah, they're getting at that great age where, granddaughters is trying to have the big conversations and all that. So it's a struggle sometimes, but we're communicating. It's fun, and it's a good time because she is just sharp as a whip. I mean, she could just you show her one thing once. I took her to the creek, and she's got one of those beginning rods that's got the little plastic fish on it. I let her take that down there and cast it. She did fantastic at casting. She was casting clear across the creek. I had a little fly on there and was just jigging that out there and catching creek chubs. Fishing was all fun and games until I actually caught a fish, and she, ew, what is that? Like, it's a creek chub. You want to touch it? No, she says. I was like, I'm thinking to myself, well, then why are we down here? But she was having a good time just casting that plastic fish across. But yeah, it was fun. She is a whippersnapper, man. And the grandson, he is starting to mimic every word you say. We know that Izzy, or uh, we were traveling in the car, and he would sit there, and after she would say a word 3 times, he'd say, of course, we was going poppy, 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 nana, 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 daddy, 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 mommy, mommy, mommy. And he would say the word, but he knows who we are. But yeah, I love the fact that I'm Poppy. Like I said before, I started out, I wanted to be called Pappy, but my granddaughter decided to call me Poppy, and I love it. That's what she decided, and that's who I am. I'm Poppy. I have to admit, it's getting hot up here, but yeah, I got all kinds of errands to do today. It's just a wife, Mrs. 58, 56, and the daughter-in-law are going to go to some fruit stand somewhere. I've been told, um, which sounds good. I always love to have some fresh fruit. I hope everybody had a good week. I know we've had a low viewing rate here today, and to those who have stuck with me, thank you. Um, but I would say that we've gone on now for about 31 minutes. I think that's about my normal. So, hey, I'm going to sign off today. I hope it wasn't too bad. Let me know if this format works. I'm going to stick with it. I'll make a better studio next week, and we'll go from there. All right, everybody have a good week. Please stay tuned throughout the week, and I'll post on. All right, bye.